You're watching Theme Park Worldwide, and welcome to a day in Disneyland history. It's 1:45 a.m, it's absolutely throwing it down with rain, and I'm here on the Esplanade at Disneyland in California for the opening day of Rise of the Resistance, one of their biggest, most ambitious attractions to date, and I'm so excited to ride it. The reason I'm here so early, well, a lot of these other people are as well. We're waiting for this ride to open. I mean, they're running a boarding pass system, which means you've got to get the Disneyland app, and then you've got to get a boarding pass to be able to ride the attraction. Nobody really knows how many boarding passes are going to be available, how many people are going to be able to get through the attraction, and of course it all depends on how it runs. I mean, of course, it's a brand new ride. They've been doing various different previews with the cast and special guests getting onto it. However, this is its official opening day, the 17th of January 2020, and I'd say there's probably 300 people already over there at the entrance. The parking lot opened at midnight. You got to think the park had only been closed a few hours, then they've already opened the parking lot. And yeah, I've just got the bus down from the Toy Story parking lot, and here I am on the Esplanade. And I tell you what, it is amazing to be back here at Disneyland. This is the first video of many that I'm going to be filming from here. I've got a 5-day ticket to the park, but this is day one, the opening day of Rise of the Resistance, and I'm going to document it, and hopefully we're going to get to ride it. I mean, I've got to get a boarding pass to get on it today, so who knows what's going to happen, but no matter what, this vlog will be going on whether I ride it or not. I'm hoping to. I've got here early. I'm looking at the amount of people thinking, yeah, I should be fine, but you never know. It's one of those, you've got to get on the app, you've got to get this boarding pass. I'm going to show you all of that process and the worrying time we're having to keep refreshing and trying to get it. But here we go, welcome to Disneyland Resort, the opening day of Rise of the Resistance here at Disneyland. It's so exciting. So it's just gone 3:30 a.m. here at Disneyland. Crowds are really starting to build up now. It's still not too bad, but I'll give you a little bit of a look. So as you can see, crowds are really starting to come in now, but the atmosphere is really starting to build up a little bit. But I've got some really important news for you all. He's come all the way over, the one and only Alex is here. Hey, and not the milkman now. We met 4 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right here at Disneyland. We've not seen each other for 4 years. How have you been?
Just here.
Here, enjoying it whilst I'm back in the UK. Yeah, but it's amazing to be here on this opening day, this momentous day for Disneyland. And I can't wait. Like, it's going to be amazing, isn't it, to get on it?
Can't wait, man.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be well worth the wait. But yeah, crowds are building up. There's quite a few of us here now. Got a nice group, but it's going to be a really nice atmosphere. Like I say, we don't really know what time we're going to be getting through the turnstiles or anything at the moment. It's more the mystery of it. We've been playing a few like Star Wars sort of sound effects and things every so often as well, sort of turning off the regular music loop and putting those on. But no, it's great to be here and of course catch up with Alex. It really is, and see a lot of other familiar faces, new faces as well. This is it. It's a momentous day, and I'll keep you updated with what happens. Luckily, the rain has stopped. It seems like the clouds are starting to move away a little bit, so fingers crossed it's going to stay dry, or at least I hope so. I feel like I'm back in the UK, just with a better theme park. So it's now 4:30 a.m. and they are preparing the turnstiles just here. We've got cast members down, stocking up the maps just here, waiting to go. So it looks like it's not going to be too long until the gates to Disneyland are opening on this very iconic day in the park's history. So we've just had the countdown, we're in the park, and we did really well there to get right near the front. Things are looking really good, very positive. We've got no rope or anything at the moment, so we're just making our way in. This is it, my first time back at Disneyland in 4 years, and here it is, walking into Walt's original Magic Kingdom, seeing Main Street again. It really is a special experience. Let's see what happens now. I mean, yeah, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, it's very early, it's just gone. What time are we on? We've got a time update. 5:47. Oh, there we go, even more accurate. But yeah, so we're in the park at this time, which is crazy. I mean, this isn't something what would normally happen. Being in Disneyland at this time is something quite special. I'm going to spin the camera around and look at this, take it all in. It feels so emotional being back here to this park. It really does. And for such an iconic opening.
Okay, don't fight, yeah. Next time you pull it out.
Well, actually, if you want to get handsy, you can. I can do that.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing to be back on the original Main Street USA. It really is. So emotional to be back here. Seeing the castle down at the bottom, it's beautiful. It really is. I'm tearing up. It's crazy. Plenty of cast members down at the side. Very organised, and the good thing with Disney as well, like they don't allow running. Everyone's just fast-paced walking. Like Alex is doing just here, there you go, demonstrating that very well. Just fast-paced walking, there we go. Don't run, fast-paced walk. To make our way down towards Galaxy's Edge. Very nicely organised, got all the floodlights on at the top as well to light it up really nicely. We've got all the ropes actually down the side as well. And here we go, right down to the front. And this is where we've got the rope, so I imagine this is where they're going to walk us down towards the ride. We've done pretty well there. We've done quite well.
A virtual queue will be used for the all-new Star Wars Rise of the Resistance attraction. Beginning at 8 o'clock this morning, guests may join the queue through the Disneyland app. Once again, the virtual queue for admission to Star Wars Rise of the Resistance will open at 8 o'clock this morning. Thank you.
Here we go then, so it's now 6:35. And we're walking forward now into the hub of Disneyland.
No, it's not really water at all. Yeah, it just means...
I say walk, just a fast-paced walk, no running please, no running in Disney. I do love it. Most people do follow the rules though, which is really nice.
Right, they're going to be moving us to...
Something rare to see sunrise in Disneyland, or hopefully some sun anyway. I really hope so. I'm really cold today.
I don't know where
let's go to tomorrow.
No. And then today was like...
They're in the back.
I know.
Stress.
So we've got just over 15 minutes to go until the boarding passes are going to become available. I just thought I'd show you this on the app just here, of course. We've got some of the concept art there for Rise of the Resistance at the top. We've got the current land status, which is closed. Now boarding no one, because of course none have been issued yet, but it will say the group that's boarding on there. Of course, a bit of information. You then click on My Status, and it'll give you a bit more information there about your boarding group. You also join one there as well. However, as you can see, we can't join that yet because it's not activated until 8 o'clock. And we can also join from the main page there as well. So me and Alex are both prepared. We've got our tickets like synced up together. So if one of us loses signal, we're both ready to go just in case. But it's a bit nerve-wracking now. I mean, we didn't need to be here ridiculously early to check out a boarding pass, but you needed to be in the park. You couldn't actually, load this up unless you're in the park. So we just wanted to make sure we were in the park, and we've had some amazing atmosphere as well. You never know, just in case they did ever let anybody in standby at the start. I know from oh, here we go. I know they actually advertised it as boarding passes, and that's what they're stuck to. So here we go.
Boys and girls, welcome to Disneyland, the place where dreams come true.
entering Frontierland straight down to Galaxy's Edge. Let's go. Right then, it's all a little bit crazy, but the atmosphere is absolutely amazing. We've got about 10 minutes to go now until the boarding groups are going to become available. So everyone's making their way down to Galaxy's Edge, even though we don't really need to be down there to get the boarding pass. Everyone's going for it anyway, and let's see what happens. I mean, the atmosphere is incredible. It's a day in Disneyland history, it really is, and we're documenting it right here on YouTube, on Theme Park Worldwide, and it's great to be here. It's so weird walking around here thinking it's been 4 years and this whole area has been completely transformed. You know, we was here for the last day of the Rivers of America before they changed it all, and of course changed the layout for the train. Mark Twain was closed, Columbia was closed whilst they did all the work on the rivers. And look at this, we're about to walk into Galaxy's Edge here for the first time, and I'm really excited, I can't wait. So 8 o'clock came round, and the good news is we've got a boarding pass, but it is group 94, and we've just been reading here, it does say boarding groups 82 and above will only be called if all of the initial planned boarding groups have been called back and there is capacity for more riders this evening. Capacity is limited. A boarding group does not guarantee entry to Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, but the good thing is we've got it. Alex managed to get it, didn't you? You managed to get it locked in for us.
Yeah.
But we actually waited just over here by Splash Mountain because they've actually got like the fast pass machines over there for people who don't want to use the app, and we waited there just in case. But we've got a boarding group, but like I say, it's not until later on, so we're kind of like a backup, so it's just a bit of a waiting game now. At some point we'll get like a notification and that'll tell us if we can go back or not to go and ride, so it's going to be a day of waiting about for us, but we can go and do some other attractions. And I think we should go and have a look around here. I mean, this is amazing to see all this, because last time I was here this was the water. I mean, the Rivers of America used to stretch all the way back down there. I remember the restaurant just here, the Hungry Bear restaurant, you know, you'd look down at the water. And now you've got this path that leads down here to a whole new land. And of course, after doing Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World in Hollywood Studios, I was really looking forward to coming here to Disneyland and coming to experience this version. And first of all, I mean, the sun's come out at the perfect time here. I remember saying 4 years ago that I was really worried about how the sight lines were going to be, especially here from in Frontierland and all around Critter Country. You know, I wanted to make sure that, you know, it was just going to be right. And I tell you what, they have done it perfectly. I mean, look at that, it looks absolutely amazing. Of course, you've got the rocks at the back there that of course are all part of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but then you've got the railroad track just in front of it, all these new rocks, you've got like the waterfall over there. It looks absolutely gorgeous, it really does. I'm going to be covering more of that, of course, in my actual Disneyland vlog that I'm going to be filming. What's not going to be focused around the opening day of Rise of the Resistance like this one is. That'll be a normal vlog from the park, sort of covering all of that. Oh, it looks fantastic, and it's great how you can still walk around here and still be immersed in all of the theming. But yeah, let's head round into Galaxy's Edge. Let's go and have a look. Very excited. Here we go. We're entering Batuu. Welcome to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here on the West Coast. It feels very strange, like coming into it in this park and seeing it all. And the fact that when I was last here, they hadn't even started the construction. Now it's complete. You go back and watch that vlog, and you know, I said, look, I'm probably not going to be here until it's all done, and I kept my word, and here I am, walking through here. Looks like a lot of people who look very happy to have boarding passes, and a lot of people who look a bit upset as well, but especially, you know, it's a lottery system. Of course, this is the entrance on the left here to Rise of the Resistance. A lot of people waiting out the front. Chewbacca over there as well. There he is. Definitely do not regret being here so early though. It was amazing, it really was, to have the atmosphere and all the build up. Looks like no boarding groups have started yet. So if you are familiar of course, with Hollywood Studios and the version of Galaxy's Edge there. You'll know that this entrance here on the left-hand side where we just walked in, you actually come under like a massive archway. Similar to you do here, but there's a much bigger archway that they've got in Hollywood Studios with a berm over the top. And of course, you walk down the area known as Grand Avenue, and you walk down there, part of the former streets of America, and that's what leads you in. Standing right here now, it all looks very, very similar, of course. It is a near clone. There's a few little changes, especially with the colour schemes in some areas, and that's what I'm looking forward to discovering. And some of the theming items are in different places as well. But in general, it's the same idea as what you've got over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Is an absolutely amazing atmosphere around here in Galaxy's Edge, and it's now 8:55. They're already on groups 12 to 14, which is a good sign. Bear in mind the park is open until midnight tonight, till 12 o'clock. So we've got a good sign, that we are going to get on it. But you never want to get too excited, just in case. Of course, there's no guarantee. It's a brand new state-of-the-art attraction. Some of these, the lucky people, they got some of the early boarding passes. It was all completely at random. It all depended on internet connection. But we found out that boarding passes went in less than 5 minutes, which is crazy. So we're lucky to have them. There's a lot of people turn up at the park now who haven't got them. So I'm just glad that we got one. It might not be till later, but yeah, it's going to be interesting just to watch this now. And it's really going up quite quick in terms of getting those groups in to ride Rise of the Resistance. So we're going for a little walk now around the rest of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, just to take it all in. Now, of course, this actually opened before the version at Walt Disney World, whereas Rise of the Resistance has opened first at Walt Disney World, and then it's opened second here. Very interesting, isn't it? Of course, a lot of work's gone into that overall area, not just Rise of the Resistance. So we're going to take a little walk around here and just really soak up the atmosphere. I mean, it's got such a nice feel to it today. It's not too busy around here either. Let's have a little walk through, see all the theming, soak up the atmosphere. This all opened back in May 2019, and of course everybody's been waiting really for Rise of the Resistance. A lot of people have visited, but a lot of people have been holding off, waiting for today, waiting for the launch of that huge new ride. And we were talking about this earlier on, you've got to think it's the first big e-ticket ride in Disneyland in many, many years, probably since Indiana Jones. So it's a big move for this park, and let's explore the rest of Galaxy's Edge. Is amazing to step back inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and this time of course here in California, not in Florida. Standing right here now, you can hardly tell the difference, to be honest. They both look very, very similar to each other. I'd say the colour schemes are maybe a little bit different in some areas. I mean, I'm going to have to look back at the vlog and some of the footage that I got from there, but of course, looking at some of the rocks and stuff, it looks like they've got more of a yellowy orange sort of shade to them, whereas at Walt Disney World and Hollywood Studios, some of them are more like grey on the rocks. But that's just from like a first sort of impression from stepping into here. But in general, you stand right out here, outside the Millennium Falcon and Smugglers Run, and honestly, like you can't really tell much of a difference at all. Like, they're absolutely amazing, these themed areas. They've done such a good job, and to have one in Disneyland in a park that's so small, no space at all, and that they've managed to make room room for this attraction. They've done so well, and I say just this attraction, this whole themed area, 2 huge rides. I look forward to riding Smugglers Run again at some point today. Current wait standby is 50 minutes, so we may go on there soon and give that a ride. In terms of boarding groups, they're now on 18, so it is going up quite quick, which is good. We've just gone 9 o'clock, so things are looking pretty positive. I don't want to get like too excited, but there's a lot of people who've come here today, of course, that wasn't lucky enough to get a boarding pass. They went within a few minutes, so we're very, very lucky. Maybe one later on today, but at least we've got one. Yeah, it was one of them. It was look at the draw. Some people came here and got here at like 6 a.m. And they've got boarding group like 15 or 16. It's just how it goes, you know. Like no one said to us, oh, you've got to get here, you know, early. Like Disney said, you know, it's going to be all done via the boarding pass, and that's absolutely fine. We chose to get here early, more for the atmosphere and to capture it and soak it all in. But no, it's great to be here on this opening day, and fingers crossed we're going to get to ride Rise of the Resistance, the new attraction. But let's carry on having a little walk round. What an amazing themed area. It really is gorgeous, and the sun's shining right on it as well. We've also heard that at night they actually launched the fireworks behind the area, so I bet you get a really nice perspective with the fireworks all behind the rockwork here in Galaxy's Edge. Right then, so we decided to join the 40-minute standby queue for Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. Absolutely fell in love with this attraction in Hollywood Studios, so looking forward to giving it a go here and seeing how different it is, if many differences at all. It's always going to be fascinating to see. So yeah, we've joined the queue. It's also got a single rider line as well, but I thought let's go in standby, let's see if there's any differences in the queue line, and have a little look at that and share it with you guys. But 40 minutes, I mean, this line goes very, very quick. The throughput on here is incredible. So yeah, let's go have a little ride and we'll take you guys along. I wonder what position we're going to be. There really is so many details inside this queue line. It looks absolutely spectacular. Got all the buttons, different things light up, you got all the different levers. So much to it. It really is an amazing queue line. It moves so quick as well. Like the throughput on this thing is insane. So many little Easter eggs as well. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I've mentioned this many times in the videos, you know, when it comes to Star Wars, you know, I don't know much about it at all, but you don't have to love Star Wars to enjoy Galaxy's Edge at the Disney parks, because if you enjoy a themed experience and just looking at the smaller details, it's the audio, the sound effects, the lighting, the sights, the smells that all really make it, and that's why Disney builds some of the best attractions in the world. They really do. So much detail in here. It really does look absolutely incredible. Very, very similar to that of Hollywood Studios. All the pipes up at the top. I just love how they've got these big glass panels so you can see straight out into the area. Nice aerial view, of course, of the Falcon. I'm looking out in the distance as well. It gives you a good idea how close we are actually to Big Thunder Mountain, and you can see the rock work for that just through the side. There's also actually 3 entrances to Galaxy's Edge here, whereas at Hollywood Studios there's only 2 entrances. Of course, we'll see the other 2 at some point later on in the video. Like I say, this vlog's all dedicated to Rise of the Resistance opening day and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Guard, why hasn't the cargo been loaded onto the freighter in Hangar 15?
Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm trying to decide between Glee, Anselm, and Speed.
No Slinky Dog to see from here.
What?
Well, I have to plan
I am offering the opportunity of a lifetime. I need flight crews to transport this valuable merchandise across the galaxy. Pilots to navigate, engineers to operate the ship, and gunners to defend the shipments. And that is where you come in. Oh, the Millennium Falcon. Oh no, for some very fast and very profitable expeditions. Chewbacca, my fine furry friend! Yes, as we agreed, you let us use the ship, we'll get you the supplies you need. It's a win-win. You help the Resistance, and I get all the profits. What? The First Order will never know we were there. Okay, time to go, so, bye-bye. We better go before he changes his mind. Move along, my friends. Listen carefully and remember, the better you work together, the more you earn.
Well, it was advertised a 40-minute wait in standby. We've waited about 20, like, not bad at all. We're not complaining. We've got our boarding cards. What have we got? Gunner. Engineer, love it. So here we go. I mean, it's a fantastic overall experience, and what really makes it for me is coming into here, just waiting before you board. It just adds to the overall experience of it. Like there's theming everywhere. You got like a little seating area, photo opportunity. You got all the wires, the buttons that lights up, all the sound effects that really makes it for me. And it's just a full immersive 360 experience. Like just little random things. What you know, they don't need to have here, but it's Disney, and they just do it. So here we go. Let's get on a ride on the Millennium Falcon. I'm the gunner, so let's see how this one goes. Hopefully we're going to do all right.
Pilots, perfect. Gunner, gunners. We have another gunner.
Corellia, you will be intercepting a first-order train shipment of coaxium. Gunners, you clear the path. Pilots, line up behind the train. And engineers, you harpoon that precious cargo. Move out, my friends. See you in the cockpit. I will be in the cockpit, of course. I'm thinking of... You're still here. Go, go. Repair test. Hit your flashing button.
Here we go. As I'm the gunner, I'm sat on the middle seat. Pilots at the front, engineers at the back.
Pilot, push the flashing button to take off. Pilot on the left. Move your stick to fly right and left. I was just about to say that. Pilot on the right. Pull back on the stick to fly right. Push forward to fly down. Weapons are on light. Pilot, hit the boosters. Now let's go get that coaxium. Right, pilot. Make the jump to light speed.
Here we go, Woo! Hi, John.
Train. Yes, yes, keep shooting. They've locked onto us.
Keep going, keep going. Woo! Whoa!
There it is, after that train. Flight engineers, fire the harpoons. Excellent. Now, gunners, shoot the cargo free. Pilot brakes.
Whoa!
My friends, that could have been much worse. Okay, it's much worse. Yes, you got one. Excellent, my friends. The power of the ship. Well, I can go axiom. You see, just as I promised, my friend. Now that the resistance has remaining, maybe something.
Keep shooting, come on!
Pilots, line up behind the train so we can harpoon that last car. It's behind the train. Pilots, in the center. Do you see those big white rings? What you plan to do with them? Flight engineers, find the harpoons and reel us in. Well, it's harder than it looks. Gunship. Oh, that's woo! Things are getting too hot. We've got to get out of here. Yes, a distraction. Fire the missiles at the train. Hurry.
Fire the missiles!
Watch out! The Star Destroyer is collapsing! Left pilot, hit the boosters! Boost! 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 We made it! I don't know, but we made it! Now, let's get out of here! Come on! Your hyperdrive has failed! Pilots, evasive maneuvers! We've got company! Chu is right! If we lead them back, they may find the resistance! He's the last! You did it! Watch out! Oh, that's going to be the mark. Woo! Chewie will pilot us in remotely. You retrieved one container of Copacia. This will greatly help the resistance. You have heard the First Order and made Chewie proud. Now, after my modest profit, your cut minus what you owe me for damaging the Falcon is...
As you were. You have a good day.
On-ride footage there from Smugglers Run, an absolutely awesome attraction. I really enjoyed it just as much as I did over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Very, very similar attractions, the overall experience. I mean, of course, I'm not really a die-hard Star Wars fan. I'm sure if you are, you may notice quite a few differences in some places, but in general, the queue line, the pre-show, the animatronics, absolutely incredible. I mean, that animatronic in the pre-show is brilliant, it really is. And then, of course, boarding onto the Falcon itself, sitting there in the seats, whether you're the pilot, the gunner or the engineer, you're in for a fantastic time on that experience. It's three completely different experiences as well. Obviously, I think the pilot's the highlight at the front, but no matter where you are, you know, you're gonna have a good time and really get involved in the experience. It's a world-class ride. I absolutely love it to bits. I rate Smugglers Run a lot higher than I thought I was going to, and I said that way back in September when me and Charlotte stepped into Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World. I was really, really impressed, and I'm just as impressed here, I really am. Anyway, you may notice the sun is a little bit different. In fact, it's actually been a good, maybe 4 hours since that on-ride footage. We've actually been for a little walk around the park and some other attractions. Like I say, today's vlog is all focused around Galaxy's Edge, and I'm sure you're all thinking, have we got on the ride yet? The answer is no, of course we're not on the ride yet, because I'm going to be taking you there, but we've had a bit of uncertainty, haven't we, Alex? So the ride's actually gone down twice. It went down once earlier on, and it was back up maybe within, 40 minutes?
Yeah, max.
It went down just for over an hour.
Yeah.
So it stopped at 61, boarding group 61, and we was at the point thinking, well, we can't afford for it to take too long, and we thought, we might not be getting on it today. And then, literally, we just walked straight back here into Batu, and it's now on 65. It was on 64 just, we went to the restroom, it's now on 65. So it's going back up, it seems quite fast, the ride's back in action. You've got to expect, when you are coming for the opening of an attraction, there's gonna be issues, you know, it takes time, we expected that. So, you know, we're just so glad because we've only got now 29 more groups and we're called up. So hopefully at the speed they've been going, I mean, what time are we on now? Is it like 4 o'clock? Oh, there we go, 5 to 4. So with how things are going, bear in mind park closes midnight, we're looking quite promising, but of course it could go down again. It could go down 6 more times. It could go down for the rest of the night. Who knows? But let's continue to have a little look around. We're going to a little shop over here, shall we? Let's go and have a little look and take you in there so you can see where you can buy a $200 lightsaber. Let's go and have a look. What's really cool with the shop there, the doors open up. I mean, you didn't see it just because there was a constant flow coming in, but the doors just open up and close. It's quite mysterious, you know, they don't just keep them open. Oh, I love it in here. Again, looks identical to that of Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios. Just all the details, like the sound effects, the flashing lights. Oh, I absolutely love it. It's a lot quieter actually around the area now than before. In terms of other differences, of course, it's all very similar. I mentioned earlier on about the colour schemes being a little different. In terms of pathways, like all the buildings and the rocks and everything are very similar size. But in terms of the paths were definitely a lot smaller towards the front of the area compared to Walt Disney World. But I guess that's just due to the space they have. And you've got to think the Rivers of America are just behind the berm that they've built. Look forward to doing the railroad at some point whilst I'm here and seeing how that's changed as well, and the views. Hopefully Galaxy's Edge hasn't impacted that too much. Looks like someone's trying to hide from somebody here. I do love it. It adds another dimension to the area. And Alex has just told me this is the area where the lightsabers are done. So what, you wait just out here in like a little pre-show sort of thing, and then you head inside to do it. That's the $200 spectacular. Yeah. But there you go. Have you got $200 for it?
No.
No, neither have I. But I love the area to bits, I really do. But like I say, you don't have to be a Star Wars fan to enjoy it. But yeah, that's where you go. You sort of register over there, and yeah, oh, there we go. The door's just opened actually. So then you head in through that way. Yes, that was the droids, what they were doing inside the shop there, which is in the building we can see. Loving the fact she's just hiding there. It's great, it really is. I was really hoping to see some more sort of characters around. I mean, you've got stormtroopers going around, Chewbacca, he's walking around quite a lot as well. But yeah, hopefully they'll add more as time goes. Just all these random, like, look in the trees here on the branches, stuff like this. It really is amazing. You've got to think a lot of this area as well was just back of house space at Disneyland. We've not really lost anything for this. Yes, they've shortened the Rivers of America, but we've not lost any attraction, so to speak. This is all, you know, it's on land what was previously back of house. This is great down here. I don't remember actually walking around this sort of area at Walt Disney World. I don't really know if this was existed. I don't remember these steps here, but loving the rock work there. The quality of it's amazing. I mean, this is going to last for years. It's going to last longer than us, I think. Nice seating area over there through the archway. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be getting on it as it goes dark onto Rise of the Resistance. That would be even better. I think sort of walking up to it through the queue line and everything at night would really make the experience. Have a little look through here. With a gift shop for you all. Wow. Look at the theming. I mean, this is spectacular. It's one of the best gift shops I've ever seen in a theme park. Just look at all the details on all the wall over there. Huge chandelier at the top. Very nice rustic feel to it as well. Getting in the mood there. Yeah, he's ready for Rise of the Resistance. Ready. Yeah. I might get the cloak. So the sun has set here at Disneyland in California, and what an absolutely amazing adventure we've been on today. This morning, arriving here at 2 a.m. and waiting around for that boarding pass, and actually getting that boarding pass within the few minutes that we could have. What a build that we've had today. I mean, normally with new attractions, especially at parks back home and in Europe, you'll sort of be there and you'll wait maybe 4 or 5 hours in a queue line, and it'll keep moving slowly, the ride might go down, but you'll probably get on it. You know, if you wait in that queue line, have your patience. It's been completely different today here at Disneyland. The fact we've had this boarding pass that we had to be here early for, maybe not as early as we did get here, but like I said throughout the video, I certainly haven't regretted that. It's been amazing, the experience, and what a build that we've had. Now, we showed you right back earlier in the vlog when we actually got our boarding pass that it said that groups were only pretty much guaranteed up until 82. Following on from that, it was going to be backup groups, and of course, we were 94. The good news is, a few minutes ago, the first backup group for Rise of the Resistance started to be called, and we're now on 85. So we are very, very close now to being able to enter the queue line. Finally, it is 18:35, 25 to 7 in the evening, and yeah, hopefully, if all goes to plan, we're maybe within half an hour, 40 minutes away from riding. So if all goes to plan, the next clip you're going to see is of us at the entrance, making our way over to Rise of the Resistance. It's been a long day, but I tell you what, I don't think I've ever had this much of a build-up waiting for an attraction. Like I say, normally you'll just wait in like a standby queue, as you'd say, you know, for 5 or 6 hours. But if you had the patience, you'd get on it. It's not been like that today. We've gone round the parks and doing loads of other rides. We've had that boarding pass, but it's been waiting. It's been that anticipation. And hopefully we're going to get on it soon. We're going to be able to just walk in there and not have to wait too long for it, hopefully. But even if I had to wait another 4 hours, of course I would. Like, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. It's the most anticipated dark ride ever, and I just feel so lucky to be here. We're not the only ones. We've met a lot of other big YouTubers today, and a lot of them have been familiar, having groups like in the 70s, 80s, some up to like over 130, so it's been crazy, but we're nearly there. 25 to 7 in the evening. Fingers crossed the next clip you're going to see is us walking in through that entrance. I'm probably getting very, very emotional. It's been a long day, but you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fresh. Fingers crossed. This should be it. I actually can't believe it. This is it. Boarding group 93. We are 94. We are next to be called. If all goes to plan, within the next couple of minutes, we're going to be entering this queue line. How are you feeling, Alex? Are you excited?
Yeah, the hype is...
The hype is real. Like, we've had it all day. This is it. And I'm not going to do any more talking from this point onwards. You're about to experience Rise of the Resistance. Of course, spoiler warning for anybody that really wants to keep this a surprise. I know Alex here doesn't really know anything. You've really kept it a big surprise. I have watched the POV, I have seen spoilers, but you've stayed away from it. So let's hope you enjoy it. Coming up over the next multiple minutes, this is it. It's time for our first ever ride. Come and join us for Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, the world's most advanced theme park ride on its opening day here at Walt's original Magic Kingdom. Let's go.
Take it in, bro. Take your time. Oh, yeah, that's right. Get it in and show it. Take it all in.
Personnel be advised. The canyon ridge is no longer in use for targeting. All cargo in that sector is cleared for tagging back.
Incoming transmission from Ray. BB-8, is everyone assembled? Good. Shouldn't you be in flight prep? Recruits, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now headed to this system. Your outpost on Batu is no longer safe. We have transports waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pucara. I'll regroup with you there. The Resistance desperately needs your help in our fight against Kylo Ren and the First Order. Remember, it is vital that you keep the location of the Pucara base secret. Lieutenant Beck, one of our top commanders, will lead you.
Affirmative. Transport is ready. Lineman and I shall personally see them delivered.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Welcome to the cause. May the Force be with us.
Commander Potan and a squadron of X-Wings shall escort us to the rendezvous point on Pucara.
Roger, this is Black Leader. I hear you're a fine-looking group of recruits. Well, no time to waste. Let's get you on your way to the General.
Stand clear. Deck doors opening now.
Oh, yeah. All recruits to transport. No need for safety here. Deck is in motion. Recruits crossing to transport.
Initiate reflight sequence on Deck 3 for Pucara.
Don't worry about seatbelts or anything.
Affirmative. Deck 3, you are clear to launch. Pucara personnel. I'm getting a high reading on the fuel pressure line. That's better. Can't combine the motivator. Yes, I just want to be sure. All recruits must be on board now. Transport is away in 30 seconds. Yes, check the hyperdrive also.
Transport takeoff in 20 seconds.
Good. Airspeed sensor. Thank you, Nine-Num. Black Leader, are you and your team ready?
Affirmative. Engines are hot. Red 2, Blue 5, report. Red 2, check.
Blue 5 standing by.
Engage repulsors and hold on, recruits. All ships, launch. I am Lieutenant Beck. As you heard from Ray, I have been tasked with getting you to Pucara.
Red 2, Blue 5, keep it tight now. Let's get ready to make that jump to light speed on line 1. Abort the end. Then I think, huh?
Black Leader, we're picking up an unusual signal. Are you spotting anything?
Yeah, I see it. We'll check it out. BB-8, what do you got?
There appear to be a number of small craft heading our way. Raise the shields.
Air Company, First Order TIE Fighters. Reroute! Reroute! Red 2, Blue 5, we got a clear path so transport can make a jump.
We lost Red 2, more incoming. Blue 5 taking evasive action.
Try to shake him, Blue.
I'm trying.
We lost Blue 5. I'm gonna try to drive him away.
Copy that. Get us clear so we can make the jump.
Be ready. You won't have much time.
Where are all those TIE fighters coming from? Star Destroyers.
Get out of there!
We can't. We're caught in a tractor beam. It's pulling us in.
I'll go get some friends and make this a fair fight. Don't worry, I'll come back for you. Stay strong.
Cargo vessel TR-141, identify yourselves and prepare to be boarded.
This is TR-141. We are a civilian vessel. By whose authority are we being detained?
By the authority of the First Order, resistance scum. Now bring down your shields and prepare to be boarded.
They'll want the location of our secret base.
order to you is to disembark the ship now.
Resistance. You chose the wrong side, and now you will pay. The Resistance prisoners.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
We are needed on the bridge.
Keep the prisoners here. I will return to finish this personally.
down to the escape pod base. Those droids are programmed to return you to Batuu. Hurry and don't get caught. Lieutenant Beck will guide you. Recruits, for your safety, stay seated with seatbelts securely fastened. Keep hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the transport and supervise your children. Tell them it's a prisoner transfer. Did it work? Good. Now get a move on. There's a clear path to the turbo lifts at the end of the hallway. Turn right. Road droid. You're lucky it didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, those are the prisoners. Immigration attention on three.
Cover is blown. Find an alternate route. Who picked these two droids anyway?
Detection block breach. Prisoners last seen on level D.
There they are! Fire! This does not look good. Try to find another way down to the escape pods.
The Resistance will attempt to rescue the prisoners.
They have neither the resources nor the courage to engage us.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields!
Shields? I see no evidence.
Now!
On the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave. But ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
Find the mental cannons!
escape. You will tell me the location of the secret base, and then I will destroy you and the Resistance.
Came in a little off target. Ground crews will meet you outside the wreck.
All right, nice job, recruits. Not what you signed on for, but hey, you're Resistance now. I think I have that authority. Right, Beck? Where's the lieutenant? I need eyes on Beck. Line up, scan for his party. Lieutenant Beck here. Beck! You're alive! I should hope so. Great job, recruits. Thanks to your heroism, the location of the Resistance base is secure. Bravo! Yes, R5, you too.
So you have just come with us there on what is the most extraordinary theme park ride I have ever experienced. That was absolutely breathtaking. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance Alex, like, it was an absolute pleasure to ride that with you there. I mean, being a local to this park, hearing about that ride, following the construction, how was that experience for you?
It was worth the wait, waiting X amount of years without an e-ticket here.
So many years, like since Indy, like that ride was absolutely spectacular. I mean, you saw the full experience there, but there's so much to it. I mean, where do you even start with that? The queue line, the length of that queue line, there's so much theming, so many details. And then of course you went to that first pre-show room where there's so much going on in there, isn't there? I mean, what really impressed us was the hologram, wasn't it? Of Rey? Rey, there we go. I mean, I'm useless with characters in Star Wars, but that hologram with Rey I thought was brilliant. Like, that really sort of set the tone for the ride. There was a lot going on in there with the animatronics. And then of course, you led into the first part of the experience, so to speak, which you basically got 2 for 1 with this, haven't you? You got 2 rides in one. And you led on to this simulator, and it's really hard to see in the POV how much you move. You don't need to hold on, as you saw from the footage. I was walking around in there. However, I do recommend, you know, holding on the best you can do if you're a bit sort of, I'm used to a bit of motion, you know, I kind of knew what was coming, but it's hard to imagine it on the camera. However, you do move quite a lot, don't you, in there? You got lots going on, lots of screens, lots of audio, lots of movement, and that's a really nice way to start the experience. Much longer than I was expecting as well. I mean, that's, how long would you say in that? Maybe 3 or 4 minutes? In there, there's so much going on, of course, the animatronic at the front of the screens, and then you arrive into this amazing room that it's incredible. I mean, you walk forward and you've got, what, maybe 30 stormtroopers in front of you or something crazy. The scale of that room is so hard to judge on camera and in pictures. It is so much bigger than I was expecting. Like, how do you feel walking into there and seeing it?
The jaw-dropping moment for me. Like, after that, I was like...
That was the moment. I was in the mood at that point. What really made it at that point, I want to say a big thank you to the cast members in there. They were really getting into it. And the best thing was, in that room, we went into it and they weren't sort of pushing you through. You can see that people were taking photos and had cameras, such as myself. It was like a nice gentle walk through there, really taking the experience. And then of course we were led into another sort of waiting area where we were sort of backed before going onto the ride, and into like another pre-show really at that point, where we were looking up, Stormtrooper at the top, a bit more of the storyline for the ride, and a few nice special effects in there before being led onto the main ride system. Bear in mind, if that was the end of the experience, I think we'd have both been pretty happy. But, you know, honestly, that was like the build-up to this huge trackless dart ride that's a good maybe 5 or 6 minutes of the experience. And oh my God, that is the best theme park ride operating anywhere in the world right now, in my opinion. I don't know about yourself, but for me, there's nothing quite like that out there. I've done a lot of rides, done all of the Disney parks in the world, and I've always said Disney built the best attractions. That was absolutely incredible. I mean, we're a family channel, I'll always watch my language, but blimey, that was outstanding. My jaw was like this all the way around, and trying to film it for you guys. Normally, I would never film a first time going on something, but I was saying this to Alex, like, I never know, I might not get on it again this trip. I wanted to make sure I got the footage for you guys so you could see that and join me. I was kind of holding the camera sort of down here and just trying to look and not really look at the screen. So, you know, honestly, wow, what an experience. I mean, where do you even start with that ride? I mean, the ride described itself, but the things that really stood out to me in there was the fact that it's not full of screens. There's a lot of physical set pieces, the interaction with the other ride vehicles. We did notice that it was running on a reduced capacity. I don't know by how many, however there were some empty vehicles. I imagine it's even better when you're interacting with the other people. You can wave at them and that sort of thing, and when you come off, talk with them and share the experience. Along with that, like some of the corridors that you went through, some moments you were really quite tight in some of the corridors, and the next minute you're in these huge scenes. A favourite scene of mine in the ride is when you've got like these, what would you say, cannons like going out from the side, moving out in front of the vehicle. There was three of them, I think, down the side, moving out in front of the vehicle. That was absolutely incredible. I mean, have you got a favourite scene in there, would you say?
I think it'd have to be...
It's tough.
Yeah,
there's so much going on, but for me, that's my favourite. Also when, of course, the lightsaber is pushed through. the ceiling. That's a great effect.
AT-ATs,
Yeah.
or whatever you would call them.
Yeah.
Huge, crawly looking things.
Yeah, I mean, that looks
Massive.
amazing because you look at them and then, of course, you sort of go backwards and you raise up on this elevator system and you go throughout all the top section of the ride. And then, of course, towards the end, you've got a drop track in there. Like, this drop track happens that I thought maybe it was going to be about 10 feet.
Yeah.
It feels more like 20 feet to me. I mean, I don't know the stats on that. I'd love to know, but wow, there's so many questions about that ride and not many answers. But we've been on it on opening day at Disneyland. I'm going to have to film a full review at somewhere. When I get home, I'll sit down in the studio and do a full and like talk about it all and analyze the whole thing. But what an amazing experience, what an amazing day. You've seen the POV. Just thank you to Disneyland for this amazing area, and it's been amazing. Of course, a big thank you to Alex for being here with me on this opening day. We've shared this special memory together today, and we were just saying off camera walking down here, just like in 30 years time we'll be coming back to this area and thinking, I remember we were here on the opening day, and think of the millions and millions of people that have been on it, but we're some of the lucky thousands that got here to experience it. My advice for you, if you're coming here, you don't need to be here at 2 a.m, but make sure you are in the park for 8 a.m. to get your boarding pass. Allow time for the security, the buses from the car parks. Get yourself in here and come and experience Galaxy's Edge. What an absolutely amazing day. Thank you very much for joining us. I am ridiculously tired right now. I might not be showing it too much, but inside I'm ready for my bed. So that is exactly where I'm going now. The park is open through till midnight, but we're leaving just before 10 o'clock. I'm going to go and get some rest, ready for tomorrow, where we're going to be back here in Disneyland doing some of the classic attractions away from Star Wars. This has been about Star Wars. Tomorrow is about some of the classics. We'll go on Pirates of the Caribbean, we'll go on Space Mountain, the Matterhorn, of course Haunted Mansion Holiday, and so much more. From Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and the opening day of Rise of the Resistance, that means it's time to cue those credits. See you all tomorrow.